the leader in talk radio on the Internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
All right, folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Whoa! Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, let's go. From a studio deep in the heart of Texas,
you're not going to believe the garbage that fell out of his mouth.
The voice of the working man.
This clown had the audacity to say that.
It's the Gavin Mitchell Show.
It's not a race issue. It's a First Amendment issue, and we all just need to understand it.
And now, here's your host, Gavin Mitchell.
The First Amendment is going to run through today's show, probably as strong as it ever has. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gavin Mitchell Show. I am Gavin Mitchell. I'm sure we've all heard about what has gone on at Emory University with the Trump 2016 chalkings, but we're going to delve into that here in the first segment. Disney threatens a boycott over religious freedom bill. God forbid we actually have religious freedom in this country. We're going to get into that. The Guardian has written a piece that claims the Bible is the very essence and the root of homophobia. And Iranians have been charged with hacking into a New York dam, among other things. That could not possibly be. This president has sworn they are on the up and up. But before we get into any of that, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gavin Mitchell. Welcome to the Gavin Mitchell Show. Ben Carson decides he is going to visit The View. And if anybody can tolerate more than 2 minutes of this show, then you understand this is a bunch of women who are completely ignorant to what is going on in this world, who are completely left for reasons they couldn't describe to you, who somehow have convinced the powers that be that they deserve a microphone in a TV show. And when you watch this show, if you watch this show, you lose IQ points coming out of it. There's just no two ways about it. We've heard just stupid, ignorant comments coming from this group. But for whatever reason, Ben Carson felt it appropriate today to visit The View and be a guest. And so, obviously, the question comes up, well, Dr. Carson, and this comes from Whoopi Goldberg, why in the world would you choose to support Donald Trump? Are you kidding me? We couldn't possibly have that. And Carson responded, when I dropped out of the race, my first choice went with me. I was going to remain neutral, but then I realized that the political establishment was aligning to protect their turf, and they don't like the idea of who are not beholden to them and cannot be controlled coming into Washington, D.C. And so he made it a point to say, look, in order to break this chain they have around Washington, D.C., I weighed this thing and I decided that this is the way I wanted to go. But Whoopi Goldberg, so narrow-minded and so one-track, just the way liberals are, couldn't wrap her mind around how this is possible. And she says, but you're Ben Carson. Why would you align yourself with that? And he comments, look, there's no person that's perfect. I've always said that one way that you can measure a person is by looking at their children and how their children act. And before he could finish, Joy Bear, this idiot, chimes in and says, well, one's a big game hunter. I'm not thrilled with that. Well, dadgummit, why didn't whoever this was in the Trump family, one of the Trump boys, Go and check with her first. Why didn't they do that? Everybody knows that she's not happy with that. How could you make that mistake? But Carson made a point that his kids are very respectful. He's done some good things. Nobody's perfect. But imagine this concept. And this is coming from a man that universally, at least outside of this set of women, that universally people think is incredibly intelligent, a strong Christian man who has ethics, is honest, is respectable and respectful. And you weigh it on there, and to a lot of people, that's the measure of a man. That's a good man. On the whole, that is a really good man, Dr. Ben Carson. And he's smart. He's smart as a whip. And so he has ran these calculations, and he said, look, not everybody's perfect. Not everybody on the entirety of their life have made perfect decisions every time. But when you look at the whole and not just the parts, this is a guy I'm okay with aligning myself with. And this just blows Whoopi Goldberg's mind. She says, this guy, I'm sorry, he's a racist and he's not good for the country. I don't understand. You're Ben Carson. You're much better than this. And my question to her is, much better than what, Whoopi Goldberg? Much better than calculating and being careful about who you align yourself with and looking at the situation as a whole and weighing all the facts and being intelligent enough to understand that mercy is part of how we're supposed to behave as Christians, and not holding someone accountable their entire life for one misstep. I'm not saying Donald Trump's an angel. I'm not even saying I like the guy. I don't know the guy. But what I'm saying is the ignorance that comes from this, and this is typical of the left, they'll take one little snippet, whatever it may be, or they'll take an example or a certain period of time, and they'll twist it into what they want it to be, and they'll make sure it supports their motive. And obviously the left's motive is racism right now. That's the hot topic. They want people of minority skin colors who have a little different pigment than the white man to believe that they are victims, that they are being suppressed. And it's people like Donald Trump that are leading the way. Well, how does that benefit the left, convincing these people of that? Well, it means they don't vote for Donald Trump. It means they vote for Hillary Clinton. And then what happens? They advance the leftist agenda. Do you see how all this plays out? And I'm willing to bet Whoopi Goldberg doesn't even understand what she's doing. She just knows that she's been told that she should not support that kind of speech because it's racist, even though it's not. By the way, while we're right here, calling someone a Mexican is not racist. That is where they are from. That is no more racist than calling me an American or me a Texan. It is not racist. In fact, there's a comic out there that says, I had to go to sensitivity training to realize that Mexican wasn't an insult. It is not an insult. It is a nation of origin, and it's something that those from Mexico should be proud of. There's no offensive statement whatsoever anywhere in there. And so with that said, people are twisting what he's saying into being racist, wanting to protect our borders. All of a sudden, you're a racist, wanting to not allow the immigrants into our country. You're a racist. No, you're not a racist. You care about this country and its safety, and we are a sovereign nation. We do not have to let people in, and we should not let people in. And then you get people like Whoopi Goldberg, who sits up on her perch because she has a microphone. Somebody decided to give this ignorant person a microphone. And maybe it was because it was supposed to be a comedy routine, because she's really good at that. She's really good at being funny, even when she doesn't intend to. The problem is this isn't funny because this is serious, because people are listening to voices like hers. And I don't know why they are. I don't know why they think that she seems to know what she's talking about. Her and her little group of cronies. They're all leftists. They're all for socialism. And that makes no sense because these people got a little coin in their pocket. Why would they be for redistribution? But they are. But anything they can do to advance the leftist agenda, whether it's a conscious decision or not, and I'm willing to bet it's not in this case. In fact, I'd bet the bank that it's not in this case. But they don't even know what they're doing. They don't understand how it works. They can't seem to put two and two together to understand that what they're doing is advancing this movement of convincing minorities that they are victims. And as long as you have victims, you can have leaders. And as long as you have leaders, leaders get power. And as long as those leaders have the power, the cycle will continue. And here's Ben Carson, someone who's broken those chains, who says, look, no, I am my own man. I create my own path. I refuse to be a victim, and I made something of myself. And when I did, I came out and I ran for president. And when I was done running for president, I wished I would have won, but I didn't. And so I looked at the landscape and I looked at what is it that I think is best for this country. And right now, I think what's best for this country is breaking this chain around Washington that the establishment has, and let's give the government back to the people. That's what I think is best. And so I looked at who's left in this race and who has the best opportunity to do that. Well, the best opportunity to do that is with Donald Trump. And so I know he has had some missteps, and I know he's had some mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But I decided to support him. And you can say what you want to. You're your own person. But you have no right to throw stones at me for making an educated, informed decision. That's the great thing about America. We can agree to disagree. But for you to sit on your perch and think you're better than me and you're smarter than me, which you're not, there aren't many smarter than Ben Carson, it is ludicrous. But it's a play right out of the left's playbook. And at what point is enough enough? Because if we don't stop this mentality, if we don't stop this way of going about things, we're the victims, everybody's equal, everybody has an equal share. Everybody doesn't have an equal share. Everybody has equal rights. Not everybody gets an equal shake. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And here in the United States of America, if we start trying to give everybody an equal shake, whether they deserve it or not, whether they have a legal right to it or not, we're going to end up just like Europe. It's coming. It's coming because we're more worried about hurting people's feelings and being politically correct than we are doing what's right. And it's time to do what's right. And that's exactly what Ben Carson said, but he said it in a way that, my gosh, it was smooth, it was polite. He hit them with a pillow, and they didn't even know it was coming. And they left so frustrated they wanted to yank their hair out. And I thought it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to go into Disney. Disney's at it again on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessory store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Let Twisted Roads Trading Post be the place to go. Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Sewing, embroidery, and t-shirt printing services are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit TwistedRoadsTradingPost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Do you believe in conservative politics, common sense issues, and the U.S. Constitution? So does Matt Locke. Who is Matt Locke? Well, Matt's just a guy that believes, like many of you, that our country is headed in the wrong direction. If you feel the same, then go to Matt's new website, themattlockshow.com. Matt is a friend of the Gavin Mitchell Show, and he's a conservative podcaster and talk show host who will shoot you straight and provide information that is important to the conservative listener. You'll hear political commentary, news, and he'll discuss the current issues that will affect you during this election season. Listen to Matt's daily podcast anytime on his website at themattlockshow.com, spelled MATTLOCKE, or find his show on Spreaker.com and TuneIn.com. He's also syndicated on ICRN, the internet's new conservative radio network. Join Matt and his guest on the Matt Locke Show daily at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on conservativeradionetwork.com, or listen to any of his 400 archive shows at any time on themattlockshow.com. The Matt Locke Show, all things conservative politics.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at JABEAU.com. That's JABEAU.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Hey, everybody, it's Chris Salcedo from the Blaze Radio Network. You are listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show.
As we journey out to the Peach State, Disney and their subsidiary Marvel Studios has threatened a boycott, but it's not just them. Yeah, I mean, this list runs deep. The National Football League has fired a warning shot. Dozens of companies headquartered in Georgia, like UPS and Coca-Cola, have let people know they are not in favor of the bill setting on the president's desk. And the bill setting on the president's desk is House Bill 757, and it's officially known as the Free Exercise Protection Act. And he's got until May 3rd to decide whether he's going to sign this. It's already gone through the legislature there in Georgia, and I'm telling you right now, I am 100% for this. Let's look at the facts. The bill would allow the faith-based organizations to deny service to anyone if serving him or her violates their, quote, sincerely held religious beliefs, end quote. It would also require government to provide a compelling reason to impede residents' free exercise of religion. The compromise version of the bill, which passed both chambers of the state legislature last week, also included a provision that bars all state and federally prohibited discrimination. Okay, so here's the deal. The state of Georgia has come up and said, look, in these situations where a gay couple goes into a shop and they want a cake for their gay wedding, and the person that owns the bakery says, look, man, I'm all for it. I'm all for what you're doing. I love you as a person. I just can't support what you're doing. I can't put my business name on this action because it goes against who I am. Who you are is fine, and who I am is fine. But when they meet, they clash. And I offer a service to people that I choose to serve. It is a private business. And up until this point, they have been, the bakery owner has been charged with discrimination and held accountable with the law and civil action and all kinds of stuff. But Georgia's stepping up, and other states have too, and says, look, this person's right to not bake that cake is part of the First Amendment. They have a right to free exercise. And part of their free exercise is not baking a cake. They have that constitutional right. And so last time I checked, anywhere in the Constitution, it didn't say that a private business couldn't refuse service because there was a clash at a moral level, that they were uncomfortable on a religious level. In fact, I'm pretty sure the First Amendment, and the very reason the Constitution was ratified, was that the First Amendment was agreed to be attached to it. And that First Amendment said, look, not only can the government not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not establish. I tried not to use establish because it's the Establishment Clause, but I don't know of another synonym right now. Cannot establish a religion, but they also can't impede you on your free exercise thereof. They can't get in the way of the way you practice your religion unless it causes harm to society. Well, not baking a cake, among other things, for a gay couple is not harming society. They can go right down the street to the next bakery and find somebody that will. I don't understand why this is a huge issue, other than this is the front the liberals want to fight, while those of us on the right are concerned about keeping what's going on in Europe outside of our country. And we're concerned about people coming across the border and taking our jobs and draining us economically. That's what we're concerned about. This is what the left's concerned about, where they're going to get their gay wedding cake. And so Disney and Marvel Studios, and Disney is abundantly pro-gay, has said, look, we will boycott Georgia. And according to the state of Georgia, nearly 250 films and television shows were lensed in the state last year. So they were recorded last year with $1.7 billion in spending and $600 billion in economic impact. So this isn't a small deal. This isn't a small deal at all. Last week, the president of LGBT advocacy organization Human Rights Campaign, HRC, urged major Hollywood production studios to boycott Georgia over the bill. His quote, "It's un-American. In fact, sir, I would tell you it's the opposite of un-American. The ability to practice your religion how you see fit is very American. It's so American, it's in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the United States." So I would welcome HRC President Chad Griffin to come on this program anytime he would like, and let's have a discussion about that comment of it being un-American. You may not like it. The people you represent may not like it, but it is absolutely not un-American. I don't know when we let the left redefine American as all-inclusive. It's not. It never has been all-inclusive. Yes, we are a mush pot of different ethnicities and cultures. Sure, that's how we were founded. But it's never been a, if it feels good, do it society. We are a society of laws and rules, and this is going to send major shockwaves throughout the left. But Christians have a right to protect and practice their religion as they see fit, as long as they don't harm other people. And harm doesn't mean getting your feelings hurt. He continues, "It's an affront to all the values Hollywood prides itself on." Well, we can agree to that, sir. And you have the influence and the opportunity not only to defeat this bill, but to send a message that there are consequences to passing dangerous and hateful laws like this. That's one spin. Or a law that helps those that are now being suppressed, the Christians, stand up for what they believe in. If these were Muslims, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'm just going to throw that out there. On Friday, the National Football League warned that passage of the bill would also factor into the league's decision on whether or not to host future Super Bowl games. Quote, "NFL policies emphasize tolerance and inclusiveness and prohibit discrimination based on age, gender, race, religion, sexual orientation, or any other improper standard," NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy said in a statement. Whether the law and regulations of a state and local community are consistent with these policies would be one of the many factors NFL owners may use to evaluate potential Super Bowl host sites. What a cop-out. What a politically correct CYA cop-out by the NFL. Why are they even weighing in on this? This is none of their business. This is between the people of Georgia and their government and nobody else. Disney should not be involved. The NFL should not be involved. Those corporations I told you about, like UPS and Coca-Cola, it's none of their business, but it's more of the business of UPS and Coca-Cola than the others because they're headquartered there. They're part of the community, part of the state. I have no problem with them weighing in to a degree. I have zero problem with them putting in their input. But don't tell me it's un-American. because it's not un-American. In fact, it's the opposite. And we've talked about that. And one of the great things about this country, and it's the very reason why we are a very young country relative to the other nations that are out there, the sovereign nations. But we have the longest standing constitution by leaps and bounds, and there's a reason for that. Because if there's one premise that runs through our constitution, it's this tone that was set in the Declaration of Independence. And if you try to parse the two documents, you get in a world of trouble. Because the Constitution was laid on the foundation of the Declaration of Independence. And in the Declaration of Independence, it states very clearly that it doesn't matter the conditions in which you were birthed. It doesn't matter whether you were born to peasants or royalties or whatever. That this country, you have a God-given right. God hands you that right, not man, and man can't take it away. To life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And yes, getting married to another man, if you're a man, may grant you happiness, and the powers that be right now have said that that's within the rights of the scope of the Constitution. I would disagree, but that's the way it is right now. That's not the argument we're having, whether gay marriage is right or wrong. The argument and the discussion we're having right now is not on that pursuit of happiness that marrying another man would grant you. You have that right according to the law and according to the Declaration of Independence, in which the Constitution was built off of. But the clause right before that, you have a right to liberty, and that includes religious liberty. And what does that mean? Liberty. There is a difference between a constitutional right and a constitutional liberty. There's a difference between a right and a liberty. A right is the right to do something. I have a right to walk down the street. I have the right to buy a car. Those are rights. A liberty is this establishment that you don't have to be forced to do something. It's almost a negative. I'm trying to think. A religious liberty means that the government cannot dictate the way I practice my religion. That's a religious liberty. And so the fact that liberty is part of this right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it's inherent. It's a God-given right. And the way I practice my religion, and this is probably the way most Christians practice their relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, is that I don't hate the sinner. I hate the sin. I have no problem hanging out with a room full of gay people. But I'm going to make it very clear I do not promote or endorse or even tolerate, because it is my opinion that tolerance is passive promotion. I'm going to say it again. Tolerance is passive promotion. I'm not going to attack these people. I'm not going to attack them with violence, physical violence, or words. I'm not going to make them feel 10 feet tall. I'm going to love that person. But I will not tolerate or accept their actions. And so if I own a cake shop and they want a cake, I'm going to very politely decline no matter what the consequences are, because in my world and my list of priorities, it's God, family, country, in that order. Now, there are many people out there who will tell you it's God, country, family, and I'm okay with that. That's a decision I made personally. We can debate 2 and 3 all day long. And I'm not even saying one's more right than the other. I'm just saying, for me, that's the way it is. But God is first, and I'm not going to compromise that for anybody. I will be nice. I will pat them on the back. We'll tell appropriate jokes. We'll share a Dr. Pepper. But what we won't do is have my business name attached to an act of gay marriage in which I cannot endorse at any level. I just can't, and I won't. And so for Georgia to stand up and say, look, you have that right. We see the Islamic faith running roughshod all through this country and leaning on the First Amendment. But when Christians do it, just like in Kentucky, they end up in jail. They're bigots. They're racist. This double standard has got to go. It's just got to go, and that's where we're at with this thing. And so for this clown, what is his name? Chad Griffin. Chad Griffin, give me a call. Shoot me an email. Gavin@thegavinmitchellshow.com. I would love to talk about this comment that it's un-American. It may be un-American if you're defining it as America as you want it to be, but it's not un-American per the Constitution that we have now. It's not. And I would love to have that discussion with you, but just like every other leftist being out there, you don't have the gall to call me. You don't have the wherewithal to put together an email and say, yeah, you know what? Let's debate this. You saw an opportunity to be the leader of victims, sir. Just like every other leader on the left. You're going to be a leader of victims, and you're going to hold that flag up high. And meanwhile, I'm willing to bet you cash a pretty fat paycheck, Bubba. And I'm willing to bet that you think you're positioned for a huge promotion somewhere down the line. You're going to be the national leader of the LGBT whatever. That's how these guys work. They piggyback and they make their money and they get their wealth and their fame on the backs of others. They make them victims. Welcome to liberalism, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the socialistic attitude. But this here, the people of Georgia get to speak. And I am all for this and I support it 100%. And if they want to draw a line, here's my 2 cents. Go get them, Nathan Deal. By May 3rd, I hope you sign this in, and I hope you don't cower to Disney. By the way, Disney, the same company that brought in illegal workers on HB1 visas, or H-1B visas, and had Americans train these foreigners to do their job and then let the Americans go. That's the same Disney. The same Disney that has LGBT Day. The same Disney that openly supports gay rights. There is nothing Christian about that country. That's the same Disney. If I'm Georgia, I don't want them in my state. You can have it. Not concerned, don't care. And so there we have it. Hey, on the other side, we're going to Emory University. We're staying in the state of Georgia. We're going to Atlanta. We're talking about chalking at Emory University. Don't go anywhere.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Do you believe in conservative politics, common sense issues, and the U.S. Constitution? So does Matt Locke. Who is Matt Locke? Well, Matt's just a guy that believes, like many of you, that our country is headed in the wrong direction. If you feel the same, then go to Matt's new website, themattlockshow.com. Matt is a friend of the Gavin Mitchell Show, and he's a conservative podcaster and talk show host who will shoot you straight and provide information that is important to the conservative listener. You'll hear political commentary, news, and he'll discuss the current issues that will affect you during this election season. Listen to Matt's daily podcast anytime on his website at themattlockshow.com, spelled MATTLOCKE, or find his show on Spreaker.com and TuneIn.com. He's also syndicated on ICRN, the internet's new conservative radio network. Join Matt and his guest on the Matt Locke Show daily at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on conservativeradionetwork.com, or listen to any of his 400 archive shows at any time on themattlockshow.com. The Matt Locke Show, all things conservative politics.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
Hey everybody, Gavin Mitchell from the Gavin Mitchell Show here. Of course you can find our show every week on our flagship station, News and Information, 570 AM KLIF, but sometimes once a week just isn't enough. I would encourage you to go out to our website, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com, and there you'll find a plethora of information about the show, including archived episodes of our daily podcast. You'll find a blog written by me and other conservative writers, and entertaining videos that are available with the Gavin Mitchell Experience.
I would encourage you to follow us on Twitter at The GM Show. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. And of course, we are on our flagship station for the internet, conservativeradionetwork.com, with the most talented conservative podcasters in the country. So be sure to tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. right here on News and Information 570 AM KLIF, or through the week at conservativeradionetwork.com or www.thegavinmitchellshow.com.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessory store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Let Twisted Roads Trading Post be the place to go. Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Sewing, embroidery, and t-shirt printing services are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Hello, this is Patrick Fernari, author of Commoner Sense, The Working Person's Guide to America, and you're listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show.
I want to remind you, if you're looking for more on The Gavin Mitchell Show, you can find us at www.thegavinmitchellshow.com. You can email me anytime you'd like, whether you agree, disagree, got some comments, some suggestions, whatever the case may be. Would love to hear from you. Gavin at thegavinmitchellshow.com. We are on Twitter at The GM Show, Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. Spreaker, tune in, and iTunes as well. And we're still looking for those follows on Spreaker. We're almost there. Could definitely use some help. I know it takes a little time to log in, to create an account, and follow us there. But the good news is you have access to every show we've ever cut there on Spreaker. You are notified when a new show comes out immediately, and so it's not a bad deal. It takes a little time, but we would greatly appreciate it if you could take the time to do that. Spreaker.com and just search The Gavin Mitchell Show. We are on the 405 Media and K98 Talk, our flagship station on the internet, theconservativeradionetwork.com. That's CRN. Could not be more excited to be a part of that. And then every Saturday night, 8 p.m., we are live on News and Information KLIF 570 here in the Dallas market. If you don't live in the Dallas market, you can get us via KLIF.com, or we air that on CRN as well, conservativeradionetwork.com. So a number of places to get it. And if you happen to listen, would love for you to call in and be a part of the show. That really is our only opportunity for the here and now to take live calls, and would love for you to be a part of the show. So I promise you we're going to go out or stay in Georgia and go to Emory University. Emory is in Atlanta. And here's the deal. Emory is a pretty renowned academic institution. I actually thought about doing some work there myself. It has a great reputation. The business school has a great reputation. But Monday morning, people woke up to find writings in chalk. Yes, the same chalk that you played with as a kid out in the driveway or on the sidewalk or wherever at the park. That same chalk, the same chalk that washes off in the rain, that chalk. And there were messages written all over campus. And that afternoon, a group of 40 to 50 students decided that what was written in chalk all over campus was offensive. Now, what was said in this chalk that caused such an uproar? Were they racial slurs? No, they were not. Were they death threats or bomb threats to the university? No, that's not true either. All the chalk said was Trump or Trump 2016. Now, to be fair, and this is me being fair before we get into the reaction, a university spokeswoman did send a statement clarifying the policy in which this act violated. Chalking by students is allowed as a form of expression on the Emory campus, but must be limited to certain areas and must not deface campus property. That's a fair rule. That's fair. It absolutely falls in line with the rights that government and institution has to regulate, but it doesn't impose on free speech. That is a fair regulation. Here's the problem. These chalkings did not follow the guidelines. That's the issue regarding violation of policy, not the content. So if that is true, if that's the university's stance, hats off to you for handling this 100% correctly. But there's more. Jim Wagner did not handle this appropriately. He is the president of Emory University. So these kids got up Monday morning and saw Trump 2016 everywhere, and they decided they were going to protest. They shouted in the quad, "You are not listening. Come speak to us. We are in pain." What are they in pain about? It's chalk. So the students moved to the administration building, calling out, "It's our duty to fight for freedom." Actually, you're doing the exact opposite. If you're upset about these chalkings, you're actually fighting for the suppression of freedom, but you're in college, you're learning, let's cut you some slack. "It is our duty to win." Well, now you're sounding like Trump, guys. "We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains." A little overly dramatic, don't you think? And so the story spread quickly, and the media jumped all over it. They began mocking these guys. At Emory University, writing Trump 2016 on sidewalks is a racist microaggression with references to students needing trigger warnings and safe spaces to protect them from presidential candidates' names and slogans. For many, it was another sign of college students being so overly sensitive that even political campaigning could be seen as hate speech. And isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Amelia Sims, a senior from Memphis, who is chair of the college Republicans at Emory, said she isn't disagreeing that Trump has said some insensitive things. She believes that people have the right to protest. I like her. I think we've heard that on this show before. Her quote, "Those kinds of discussions are important to have on campus, but I think the response from President Wagner was just kind of embarrassing for the school because it's not his job to police who students on campus can support and not support." Hats off to you. That is fantastic. So here's the letter, and I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. "Dear Emory community, yesterday I received a visit from 40 to 50 student protesters upset by the unexpected chalkings on campus sidewalks and some buildings yesterday morning. In this case, referencing Donald Trump. The students shared with me their concern, and these messages were meant to intimidate rather than merely to advocate for the particular candidate." Well, now, aren't we delving a little deep into intent here? We still don't even know who did it, but we're going to talk intent. It goes on. It's not worth reading, but it goes on to talk about this was an intimidation tactic and so on and so forth. It's more garbage. It's that same garbage that we've seen that these kids need the safe space. It's the same garbage we saw out at Cal State University, LA, where they wouldn't let Ben Shapiro talk because they didn't agree with the message. It's the same garbage we saw at Missouri and all around the country where these kids have realized that if they'll just throw a fit like a 3-year-old on the toy aisle, that they can get their way. They can actually make grown people who have worked and studied their whole life, they can take their jobs away and snatch it from them immediately just by crying wolf. We have given these victims, these pseudo-victims, they're not even real victims, but they've been convinced the power to regulate and determine who is right and who is wrong just because their feelings are hurt. Could you imagine the generation of my parents or my grandparents, your parents or grandparents, seeing this and how they would respond? I can hear my grandfather right now. He's not a cussing man, but he would say every other word possible. He would not promote this. This isn't America. This is un-American. What is American is allowing that person to say what they want to. They have a right to be an idiot. That's American. That's what we're all about. And then disagreeing in an appropriate manner. Could you imagine disagreeing in an appropriate manner, how that would shape up? To actually have constructive dialogue instead of just plopping down in the quad and crying that your feelings are hurt and you've been violated because you don't have a safe space and listen to us. We're in pain. You're not in any pain whatsoever. You're crying wolf, and I have had enough of it. This country has had enough of it, and because you were doing this, you were convincing others that they can do this, and next thing you know, floodgates open. Here comes all these Muslim refugees, and embedded in those Muslim refugees are terrorists that end up hurting your family, your children, your community, because your feelings are hurt. It is all connected. Make no mistake about it. They are definitely entangled together. And this bastardization of the First Amendment has got to stop. It has absolutely got to stop. Don't go anywhere. On the other side, we'll close it out proper.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Hi there, I'm Slammin' Sam Myers, and I would like to invite you to listen to fun, exciting oldies, The Fox. It's an internet radio station that is like nothing else you've ever heard before. The best way to describe it is what radio would have been like if there were no rap music. What that means is you will hear music from the 50s like Elvis Presley all the way up to today's artists like Mark Ronson. It's real heavy on the music from 1970 to 1981. Tune in to www.thefoxoldies.com every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central, and you can catch Casey Kasem's American Top 40, playing every show from 1970 to 1988 in chronological order. Fun, exciting oldies, The Fox. It's music that doesn't have to be censored, and it's on 24/7, 365 days a year. Tune in at www.thefoxoldies.com. Fun, exciting oldies, The Fox.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at JABEAU.com. That's JABEAU.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Saturday, April 23rd at the beautiful Texas Opry in Weatherford, Texas. Make plans to see Mo Bandy.
I'm Bandy the rodeo clown. She's not really cheating. She's just getting even. Till I'm too old to die young. Hank Williams, you wrote my life.
The Texas Opry Theater presents Mo Bandy, Saturday, April 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets by calling 817-341-1000 or go online at texasoprytheater.com. The Texas Opry Theater is located at 315 York Avenue in Weatherford, Texas. Don't miss Mo Bandy, Saturday, April 23rd. For tickets, call 817-341-1000 or go online at texasoprytheater.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Chris Salcedo from the Blaze Radio Network. You are listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show.
As we close out today's show, I want to go to The Guardian. Keith Mascord writes for The Guardian, and he is a self-identified Christian dissident. And I say that to say you need to put these things in context, but there's also a little something that may hold truth here. And I want to vet this point out completely before we close the show today. The piece is titled The Guardian. That's from The Guardian. Bible is the cause of Christian homophobia. And he claims that homophobic opposition to same-sex marriage has roots in adherence to the Bible. And only by leaving the Bible text aside will Christians learn to support marriage equality. The last part is accurate. It is very accurate. And this kind of goes back to some of what we talked about that was going on in Georgia in the first or the second segment. The Bible does condemn gay marriage and homosexual relations. There's no two ways about it. But the Bible also teaches us to love our neighbor, to not judge. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. It teaches us to love people and hate sin. God is the one who judges. God is the one who vengeance belongs, not us. We're here for a purpose, and it's not to cast stones, it's not to judge, it's not to outcast. And you can go about your walk, your daily walk, in a way that you do love everyone. We're all sinners, and all sin is created equal. There is no sin that is greater than the other. You hear all this talk about the unforgivable sin. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I'm not a theologian. I'm one man that believes in the Bible and believes that Jesus Christ died for my sins. And I know that through my relationship with him, that this one thing is true, that my job is to honor him, and that when I need guidance, I pray. And I read the Bible, and that Bible is my playbook to life. It is my checklist, as Rick Perry calls it. And in that checklist, it makes it very clear that my job is to go out there and let my light shine as bright as possible, that those who don't believe wonder, what is it about that guy that makes him so certain he's going to be okay? That he is so confident that no matter what comes his way, it's going to be all right. Because he has a faith in something greater beyond what we have. And that's how you convince. You don't argue people into believing. And you don't cast stones. You don't take a holier than thou. There's a talk show host here in Dallas. He drives me crazy. I won't listen to him anymore. Because he takes this holier than thou approach. He calls communities of homeless people cesspools. And just goes on. Condemns women for breastfeeding in public because they've done something wrong. Well, maybe they could do something better. But to be abrasive about it and to attack them isn't the way to do it. And it's the same thing with the way Christians address those that are homosexual. You should not promote. You should not tolerate that action. But you need to separate the action from the person. And you need to love that person. You need to love that person as Jesus would. You help them any way you can. But what you don't do is endorse their behavior. That if you're a Christian and you believe that's a sin, it's the same thing as a sin as a drug abuser. Would you give them drugs? Would you support their drug habit? No, you wouldn't. And those that don't believe don't understand that. They see it as bigotry. They see it as homophobia and so on and so forth. But the problem is I don't answer to them. I answer to a God that is well beyond them in knowledge and understanding. And I do what he says. But that doesn't mean I attack those that are gay. And so there is a point here that's right. I feel like that some of us, including me at times, have overstepped the bounds with slurs and attaching actions to people. People are separate of actions. People own actions, just the way they own a house or a car or a toy or whatever. It's not who they are, it's what they do. Now, granted, the accumulation of little things isn't little, and you begin to form a pattern which reveals character and decision. I get all that. But at the end of the day, Us as Christians are called to love people, to hate the sin. And as long as you are doing that, and we can continue to convince legislatures like that in Georgia to pass these laws, the left can say whatever they want to. They're constantly going to game. They're constantly going to position. They're constantly going to lobby to get their way. And what is their way? We've said it over and over again. To convince people they're victims. And as long as they're victims and they have a victimizer, then they can empower the leaders, and that's how they stay in power, and that's how they stay in control. They know this. It's no secret. It's time we understand that. But the takeaway here, before we close out the show, if you are a believer, you've got to love the person and hate the sin. You've got to separate the action from the person. That's what we're called to do. And then pieces like this, that this clown wrote, they don't hold water. Everybody knows it to not be true. They know the inverse to be true. That there are actions we won't support, but we're always going to be for the person, for the best, for the best that person can do and can become. And that's what it's all about. It really is that simple. So folks, until tomorrow, in the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Gavin Mitchell. This is the Gavin Mitchell Show.
Thanks for listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show, the voice of the working man, produced in Fort Worth, Texas. If you like what you just heard, subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker.com. These and other links can be found on our website at thegavinmitchellshow.com. Be sure to tell your friends and colleagues about the Voice of the Working Man's daily podcast. Join us tomorrow for another edition of The Gavin Mitchell Show. All opinions expressed by the host or guests on this series are solely their opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of The Gavin Mitchell Show or its affiliates. This has been a Ron Phillips Pinnacle Voice Studios production.